What's up, guys? I just scored this really cool Mondo piece. I've actually had this for a couple weeks, but finally able to do a review for it now. Now, Biollante has always been one of my favorite monsters. It's a great design, it's a unique backstory, and just the suit looked magnificent. Just a really kick-ass, imposing, massive monster. And I loved Godzilla vs. Biollante, which came out in 1989. I love this poster. Really, everything about the movie brings back good vibes. Now, I had initially missed the pre-order for these, and as anybody who's tried to buy from Mondo before can relate, these things tend to sell out a little too fast. This is the Midnight Blossom version of this, and I was able to score this from Crew Kenley, who happened to buy a couple of them and sold me his for pretty much retail cost. So really stand-up guy on his end, much appreciated. Obviously, it's a stylistic paint job, it's not screen accurate at all, but I do think these colors look nice. I know there's different versions of this sculpt that I'll show later on in this video. And I think it's actually called Midnight Bloom. I think the pink one is Pink Blossom or something like that. They're obviously keeping within the theme of a rose petal, which is pretty self-explanatory for any of you that have seen the movie. To summarize very briefly, Biollante was genetically created by a scientist with the cells of a plant, the cells of Godzilla, and it also contained the spirit of his dead daughter. As far as Godzilla villains go, that's pretty different. This thing looks really great on the shelf. I think you obviously have to really be a fan of the color palette of whichever version you get. That'll make the difference. I'll get into that later, but I would only have gone with the actual natural colors of Biollante or this version. I'm not really a fan of the pink one, which I'll show later. And getting into these kind of like SD stylized sculpts is new for me. I've never really been into them. I'm not into the Deforials. I'm not into Sofubi really, but these things what Mondo's doing, I think for the size they're still a pretty good size, but they pack so much detail in these, and the colors are just beautiful. So they are now bringing me into a whole new world of collecting. And for a figure, a monster like Biollante, who whatever you usually buy merchandise wise is always huge. Biollante is an enormous monstrosity, so having something like this kind of a little more compatible and condensed, I think it really is more preferable to me. As Mondo releases more of these monsters, it's going to be easier to fit this style of figure on a shelf compared to what I've had in the past with X Plus or kits. And again, the colorways really are unique. You're not really going to get those collecting screen accurate monsters. I mean, look at this. This is just, there's really nothing in the Toho library of monsters that I can recall that really has a color palette like this. Here is the standard version paint job. Now this is the one I actually prefer. I like this one the most. I would have liked to have gotten this one, but again, I missed the pre-order on all of them anyway, so I'm just happy to have one. Here is the pink version. And again, my least favorite of the three. I know some people are really high on this. I just think a lot of the details kind of get hidden too much here. Not enough color variation to my liking. And their next release is Space Godzilla, again, one of my favorite monsters, a relative to Biollante. I don't know if it's cousin or brother, but I pre-ordered this guy. Thankfully, I was able to catch him on time. Really excited for that guy. And as most of my fellow 90s collectors will rejoice for, this is a Trendmasters colorway for Space Godzilla as well. So you have the nostalgia option. And I'm going to leave you guys off with these two versions of Rodan 1964. I like them both, but I think the colorway really steals the show here. I think with that blue Mothra, that's a must-have. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Everybody have a good weekend. Be safe. Peace.